everyone, welcome back. Today I will be filming my September wrap-up, and I got through about 10 books this month, so it was a really good month. And again, it was a combination of physical books, ebooks, and audiobooks. The first one I finished off was ebook novella Destroy Me. This is book 1.5 in the Shatter Me series by Tahereh Mafi. Now, I'd heard a lot about this book, people saying it totally changed their opinion of the character Warner from book 1. I absolutely hated him. He was such an evil character in book 1. But after having read this one, I felt exactly the same way. You totally get a different opinion of him. It's told from his point of view. You understand kind of how he gets to be the way he is. And I definitely felt the compassion for him. I didn't think that could be possible, but she is such a wonderful writer, and it's such a great series. I can't wait to read book 2. I gave this one 5 stars. The next book I read was actually an audiobook, and that was Feed, and I'll put a picture of the cover here. So the book Feed is by M.T. Anderson, and it's a YA book, and it's sort of focused on a futuristic society where everyone has these feeds implanted in their brains, and it connects them to the internet, to social media. They're constantly bombarded by like consumerism. Anything that they see they like. They'll have ads generated for other products very similar to things that they think they might like. They can order things through this feed, through their head. And our main character is Titus, and he, along with a group of friends of his, are planning a trip to the moon. Remember, this is a futuristic society. And he meets this girl by the name of Violet. She's a little bit different. She wasn't introduced to the feed at a very young age like everyone else is. So she does a lot of things outside of the feed. She learned to write physically. She learns to read books, and she's very intelligent young girl. Now something goes wrong when they're on the moon. A hacker sort of causes all their feeds to malfunction, and for a short period of time they're without their feeds. And when things are kind of fixed, it doesn't quite go very well for Violet, and she sort of decides that she's going to fight this feed and go off in a different world. So it was really interesting. It reminded me a lot of the book Ready Player One by Ernest Cline, with that sort of alternate reality jacked into the internet and all that, where it seems like they're more into that virtual world than in the reality. And it was kind of interesting as I was out walking my dog this morning, and I'm plugged into my audio, I'm listening to a book, I'm like in my own little internal world, yet here I am outside, sort of almost not interacting with the real world. And it kind of gave me that feeling of what it must be like here, just what it would be like to be constantly bombarded by ads and things and flashing across your vision, your field of vision, or hearing, these words in your head. And what a strange world that will be. But I really did enjoy the book. It's a little slow in some parts, so overall I gave it 4 stars. The next item was an audiobook, and I'm just sort of referring to my iPad here to kind of keep track. And I listened to the book I Am the Messenger by Markus Zusak. So I'll read the synopsis of I Am the Messenger. Ed Kennedy is an underage cab driver without much of a future. He's pathetic at playing cards, hopelessly in love with his best friend Audrey, and utterly devoted to his coffee-drinking dog, the Doorman. I love the Doorman. There's a great relationship between him and his dog. It was pretty funny. His life is one of peaceful routine and incompetence until he inadvertently stops a bank robbery. That's when the first ace arrives in the mail. That's when Ed becomes the messenger. Chosen to care, he makes his way through the town, helping and hurting when necessary, until only one question remains: who's behind Ed's mission? So he keeps getting these playing cards in the mail, and I believe it was the aces that were the toughest ones, and it takes him on this journey to various people and their problems, and he sort of ends up trying to help solve them for them. And the very first one he tries is an ace, and it's quite horrific, the situation he finds this person in, and he doesn't know how to handle it, and he wonders if they're going to all be like this, and he kind of panics, and he kind of bypasses it and picks another card. Sometimes there are addresses on the card, sometimes there's clues that he has to sort of uncover. And it was really interesting, and there's a lot of growth of this character. I love the interactions that he has with the people that he meets, and it sort of changes him, and he develops, and it was really well written. This is the first Markus Zusak book I've read. I've not read The Book Thief yet, although now I'm very well looking forward to it. The author is Australian. It definitely comes through in the language. When I was listening to this, of course, on audio, really enjoyed the story and the phrasing, and especially the beginning opening scenes with the bank robbery. It was almost funny how he's interacting with his friend and the bank robber and the other sort of hostages in the situation. It was like, is this for real? This guy's waving a gun and the things they're saying to him. It was just crazy. But I really liked the writing style and the character development. I definitely recommend this one, and I gave it 4 stars. Let's see, the next book. Don't Turn Around. It's book 1 in the Persephone series by Michelle Gagnon, and I will, hopefully I pronounced that correctly. I apologize if I got it wrong, but I'll insert a picture here. So this is a book about a girl named Noah Torson, and the book begins with her waking up on an operating table with an IV in her arm and like a wound on her side that's been bandaged up. She has no idea how she's gotten there, what's happened to her, what's been done to her. And she suspects something is not what it seems. And she managed to escape, only to find out this was not a hospital, but sort of a warehouse. And now, of course, she sets out to find out, what's been done to her, who kidnapped her and did this. Noah happens to be a bit of a computer hacker, a bit of a genius, and she's been living off the grid. Ever since her parents died, she's been bouncing around from foster parents to foster parents, and she does a lot of kind of creating her own identities, false IDs and things like that. This aspect of the book reminded me a lot of, sorry, Skippy's on the bed right next to my sort of makeshift tripod here, so she's bouncing the camera around. But anyway, the book reminded me a lot of The Girl with the Dragon Tattoo with this aspect and Noah's character, so that was pretty cool. So anyway, she sets off to try and find out what's been done to her and who this group is that's kidnapped her. The other side of the story is Peter Gregory. He's sort of the son of a rich man, and he's bored one day poking around in his father's files and comes across this file labeled Project Persephone. And he's curious about it, and he sort of runs a hacktivist group that goes against people, criminals on the internet and things like that. So he uses his hacker skills for good in a way, but he created this group called Alliance. I think it was Alliance or Allegiance. I think it was Alliance. Anyway, so he goes in there to try and find out more information about this Project Persephone, and just as he's about to, this man bursts into the house, takes the computer, the files, everything, and says to keep his nose out of it. Now, his father knows something about what's going on, but won't tell the son. The son persists in finding out this information. Eventually, the father kicks the son out of the house, and he's on his own. And Noah and Peter sort of end up connecting. Noah happens to have been, in a way, part of his hacktivist group under an alias name. So he ends up working with her, and their stories are in a way connected. And it is really, really cool. A lot of really good action throughout it. I like the fact that it's a YA book and it's not heavy on romance. There's really no hint of a romance until like the very, very end. So it's just all about the situation they find themselves in and trying to uncover what's going on. Lots and lots of action. I gave this book a 4-star review on Goodreads. On to my next one. Let's see. I think we're into the physical books now. So that would be The Woman Who Died a Lot. This is book 7 in the Thursday Next series by Jasper Fforde. Not going to go into all the details about the book since it is book 7. Basically, Thursday Next is kind of getting older. She suffered a lot of injuries in one of her previous books, and she's sort of recovering from them. She's a little hobbled by it. She ends up with a new job, but it seems like trouble finds her all the time, including an old arch nemesis sort of returns and just wreaks havoc in her life and everyone else's. So super, super cool as usual. I definitely enjoyed this one. I definitely recommend the series. This one overall I gave 4 stars to. The next book I read was The Perks of Being a Wallflower by Chbosky. I did a review on this one. You can go ahead and check that one out. Just wasn't a book for me. I found it rather slow, whiny characters. Again, I'll put a link to the review down below. I know a lot of people loved it. Just wasn't for me. I gave this one 3 stars. Next one is a middle grade series. Professor Gargoyle. This is book 1 in the Tales from the Lovecraft Middle School series, published by Quirk Books, and it's written by Charles Gilman. Absolutely love the covers of these. I only own book 1 so far. I definitely plan on picking up the rest. Super, super cool series. I absolutely loved it. This kid finds himself in a new school with a lot of strange, creepy teachers and things going on. Yeah, it was super cute. I definitely recommend this one. Gave this one 5 stars. Then I received a book of in a Goodreads giveaway, and this was 100 Days in Deadland by Rachel Aukes. I did a full review on this one. Again, I'll put links to this down below. Zombie story with a sort of Dante's Inferno twist to it. It's book 1 in the series. I can't wait for book 2. I really, really enjoyed it. I enjoyed the characters, the character development, lots of action. But again, it was the characters that really drew me to this book. I really cared about each and every one of them, and I definitely recommend this one. I gave this one 5 stars. Then I received a book for review from the author, and this is The Green Mountain Kids by Matthew Pierce. And I did publish a review for this one as well. Overall, this one is sort of a futuristic book. Does not appear to be that way with this cover. It looks like it's contemporary fiction, but it's set in the year 2050. And a group of teens at Green Mountain High School sort of used as an experiment to try and cure this horrible depression that has hit the nation because of this horrific economic collapse. And I had a lot of questions about this that sort of left unanswered in book 1, and I'm hoping they'll continue in book 2. That'll reveal a little bit more information. So overall, I gave this one 3 stars. And last but not least, I am continuing with my Death Note manga series. This is book 5 in the bind-ups of the Black Editions, which has volume 9 and 10. After this, there's just one more book, which contains 2 more volumes. This one was amazing. Oh my gosh, I can't even... The strategies going on between this with Light Yagami. This is the whole story of Death Note. The Death Note is a book that belongs to the Shinigami, which are like the death gods in Japan. And if you write a name in the book, within, I forgot the time frame, I think it's 30 minutes, the person will die of a heart attack, or you can specify how they will die. And Light Yagami comes across this Death Note and sees it as a force of good to rid the world of criminals. And it ends up becoming like this movement, people following him. But there's also people trying to stop him, of course. And he's pitted against various interesting characters. We meet 2 new ones in these later books, and oh my god, there goes Skippy again. Stop moving my camera! I definitely recommend this manga series. It is fantastic. Really great artwork in there. Thoroughly enjoying it. I almost don't want to read the last one because I don't want it to end, but I gotta find out how it's gonna end because I'm dead curious. So I gave this one 5 stars. So that is my September wrap-up. Hope you enjoyed it. I hope you guys read something good, and I will see you, or you will see me, in my upcoming October TBR. So thanks for watching, and happy reading. Okay, Skippy. I think we're done. We're done filming. Yeah, yes we are. We're all done filming the September wrap-up. What should we do now? Should I go read? Want me to read your story?